Dear learners, I am Dr. Venkatesan, working as an associate professor in the Department of Exercise Physiology and Nutrition, Tamil Nadu Physical Sports University, Chennai. Today we are going to discuss about effects of exercise on metabolism and its disorder and how to overcome from this metabolic disorder. This thing I am going to discuss with you. Uh, So nowadays, metabolism is a greater influence in everybody's life, and we are suffering a lot of problem because of metabolic process. So let us discuss step by step what is metabolism. So metabolism is nothing but it's a continuous chemical reaction when you take some amount of food for your hunger and your day-to activities needed. So in Tamil culture, we used to there are many says from Thiruvalluvar and Palamoli and Avvayar. And here I would like to bring two quotes. மருந்தென வேண்டவாம் யாக்கைக்கு அருந்தியது அற்றது போற்றி உணின். That means when you take some food, uh, when it is completely digested, then you can go for your food intake. Then only it is a right kind of food habit. But nowadays we are planning the 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and again 8 o'clock, and in between there are I mean lunch, I mean break, I mean snacks, tea, coffee, and other bagged items. So because of this reason, the metabolic disorder metabolism may affect. So another says is another says நொறுங்க தின்றால் 100 வயது. When you crush the food with properly and completely with your salivary secretion, then there is no problem. So with this two quotate, I would like to bring some concept about metabolism. So next we are going to discuss about the need of metabolism. uh, Need of metabolism, uh, need of metabolism, it's a complete chemical reaction which is going to convert the food into energy molecule to your working body. And the energy may be in the process of metabolism. So metabolism is nothing but we can say anabolism and catabolism. These two process, it is convert the food from right from your mouth and I mean small intestine, and finally it will end with mitochondria or cellular activity. And need of metabolism is when you the metabolism is started, the chemical reaction, it has happened. At the end of chemical reaction, you will get some energy. Those energy is vital energy for your internal organ, like respiratory system has to breathe, and cardiovascular system has to pump, and your brain is needed more amount of nutrient and blood circulation, oxygen supply, minerals, vitamins, all these supplied, all because of metabolic process. And the end of metabolic process, you will get carbohydrate, protein, fat, and different formation. So because of this reason only, we are surviving to in day to activities. And second thing is the already I'll tell you, I pronounce catabolism and anabolism. So catabolism is nothing but these color indicate the food stuff which is start from your mouth, and the protein can be converted into amino acid and energy molecules, and carbohydrate straight away it will give you energy, and fat it will be converted in different formation, and finally it will give you energy. So this yellow color is called anabolism, and this blue color called catabolism. Catabolism is nothing but breakdown of large particle into small one, and those small particle converted into liquid, semi-liquid and liquid format, and finally villi is absorbed, and finally it reaches to cellular activity, and mitochondria is going to convert entire food stuff amino acid, glucose, and glycerol, everything is utilized and make the energy and availability of energy for your working muscle. And this is about the breakdown of large molecule into small simple one, and simple one may be absorbed through your blood, I mean mixed with your blood supply. And so this is very simple process. I mean overall metabolic rate is depends upon gender, age, and the physique of the person. So when you talk about gender, male, female, there is a much difference between these two category. It's all because of the hormonal changes. And age wise, there is a differentiation even within a person. At the age of 12, there will be a separate secretion, and 30 separate, and 40, 50, and 60 above it will be differ. And not only this, based on the physics physical appearance frame, it will change. So when you talk about metabolic process, there is two things we have to consider: resting metabolic rate and daily activity calorie requirement. So daily activity based on physical activity. Physical means muscle and internal organ. And another activity is mental activity. When you think about something or some problem or some task, you will consume more volume of energy to execute those function. This is the one way where we need to concentrate. And another thing is the resting metabolic rate depends on the warmth of regulation or thermoregulatory process, and the person digestion and other chemical reaction and chemical process or formation of new chemical to execute the functional ability. With this slide, you can able to understand what it means. So resting the metabolic rate should be depends on the your physical need and mental need. And second area is the warmth regulation, digestion, and other process. And so next we are going to discuss about components of energy expenditure. What are the ways we can release our excess energy, or what are the things we consume as a food? Finally, it will give you energy. Those energy can be liberated in three forms: resting metabolic rate, that is called RMR, and training metabolic rate, or physical activity energy expenditure, PAE. So, and third category is thermic effect of food. So, the energy liberation is based on how much food you are taken and what kind of food you are taken. So, based on this, you can spend your excess energy or consumed energy. Then only you will be free from overweight. And another thing is, if a person who is having a 70 kg man, the energy balance total energy consumption is 3000 calories. In that, more than 1500 calories spent for arousal, sleeping, and resting energy expenditure, and remaining 1000 calories activity energy expenditure. A person who is having 70 kg, he has to plan to consume 3000 calories per day. More than that, it will additionally deposit some calories in the body, either in the form of glycemic index or total cholesterol, or good or bad cholesterol. So when you consume some amount of food or planning for food, these kind of things we need to concentrate. And energy conversion, this is very very important. Everybody thinking that the whole amount of food is converted as a energy and utilized for your system, or remaining thing is deposited in the form of glycogen. It is not like that. Okay, when you take some volume of food, those food is converted into 100% of energy molecule. From those 100% energy molecule, the 25% chemical energy only utilized for your work nature. Okay, so remaining 75% is simply liberated from your body. And to make your body warm. And otherwise we can call it as a thermoregulatory process. So the 25% chemical energy only utilized for your systemic and functional unit of your whole body. So uh, if you take more than 3000 calories, definitely it will be wasted, and you are damn wasting the food stuff in the world. So we have to plan accordingly, and we just go for the prescribed format. And when you talk about the metabolic process, straight away we must understand the process of insulin. The insulin, the pancreatic secretion is insulin. The insulin is only one hormone. It is going to make you hypoglycemic volume. Why? The excess amount of food stuff, when you take this excess food stuff is converted as a glucose. The glucose maximum volume is liberated in the bloodstream. So your blood is contain maximum volume of glucose or sugar. So because of this condition, we used to call it as a diabetic, and a diabetic 1 and 2. It is depends upon the person. So in this picture, you can see, in this picture you can see. So once the insulin is secreted from pancreatic gland, it will reach to the tissue. Once it is reaches, it will enter into the cellular space and make the GLUT4 to open the gate. So the bloodstream contain a larger amount of glucose, so that it will enter into the cell. And as we discussed previous slide, the 25% of energy can be utilized by your system with the help of mitochondria and other cellular activities. So because of this reason, excess glucose which is present in outer side of the cell, which is utilized and converted 25% and 75% of energy, so that there will be no problem in the bloodstream. So we cannot say the person is having more volume of glucose in the blood. So how does it is enter into the blood? Cellular activity. So once the insulin is secreted from pancreatic, it will reaches through bloodstream, blood circulation, finally reaches to cell tissue, and finally reaches to the cells, individual cell. There is a insulin receptor lock. The insulin has to open this lock, and then there is a another gate is open, that is called GLUT4. It will open the gate, and the glucose may be enter into the cell. So the cell can be utilized excess volume of glucose available in the blood. So how much volume of glucose is available in the blood is not a matter. We have to consume those blood plasma blood glucose with help of insulin only. So without insulin, there is no possible of observing glucose from bloodstream and converted as a energy for working muscle. So this is the another concept. The next slide we can see lock and key of glucose uptake. So the blue color shows single cell, and there is an insulin receptor, and insulin has to open the lock, and there will be a opening and the GLUT4. And once the GLUT4 is open, the bloodstream, it supply the maximum volume of glucose to the working tissue. So those tissue is converted glucose into calories. Those calories is utilized 25% by your system, and 75% it is liberated if it is extra. And when you feed properly, when you take a right kind of food based on your activity, physical activity, or competition, or any other activity, so insulin is dominant portion. It will increase glucose oxidation, glycolysis, glycogen synthesis, and fat synthesis, protein synthesis. So because of insulin only, the glucose carbohydrate protein, it is going to convert and make it as a usable format in the form of glucose, I mean calories. So working muscle can be utilized properly without any problem. And the second stage is, second level is glycogen. Glycogen glucagon is dominant portion to increase the glyconeogenesis and glucogenolysis and ketogenesis. These activities is from stored format. Insulin is converting the instant, I mean, whatever the food you consume, or whatever the thing is liberated in the bloodstream, it will be utilized. So there is a always fight between the insulin and glucagon. So these two hormones always working oppositely. When the glucose level is higher, insulin has to work and make it usable from the glucose into the cellular activity, so that there will be no problem in the bloodstream. And another phase is the glucagon is try to increase the volume of glucose availability in the body, so that the behind insulin, nothing, no hormone is supporting for this function. Whereas glucagon behind, there is a epinephrine, growth hormone, cortisol. There are many hormones, more than 5 hormones is supporting to increase glucose availability in the blood. So there is a always fight between two hormones, that is insulin and glucagon. So next thing is the hormonal regulation of glucose of high and low. Who is the hypovolemic hormone is only insulin. No other hormone to control your blood glucose availability in the blood. So except proper diet and exercise, you cannot increase the availability of insulin or strengthen secretion of insulin. But other side is hypervolemic hormones are glucagon, cortisol, epinephrine, growth hormone. So these hormone always fighting against insulin. That means this hormone is going to secrete or make available of glucose in the blood, so that the working muscle can be utilized. If your intake is normal, then there is no problem, and if you go for exercise means no problem. But if you are not in very good exposure of exercise, definitely the insulin is going to inferior than the hypervolemic hormones. So if you very clear about hypovolemic and hypervolemic hormones, then there will be no problem. But think that we have to maintain balancing between these two hormones. How? Through exercise only we can increase the availability or strengthen insulin, or a very good metabolic process. It's all the based on your I mean intake, proper diet and exercise only, you can make insulin proper working condition against glucagon. So these things should be in a normal and right proportion. Otherwise, you will be called as a I mean, overweight or diabetic patient or hypercholesterol, or everything will be there. So when your fitness level is very low, what will happen? Definitely, the basal metabolic rate will be low. So if basal metabolic rate is very low, means the cholesterol, lipoprotein, and other I mean good bad cholesterol, all are it is going to increase. And finally, the metabolism is reduced, means the availability blood glucose will be higher in the blood, so that so you will be called as a danger zone or prone to diabetic. So once if you are not more good control over your blood sugar, definitely you will be under any one of diabetic 1 or 2. So we have to think all those things. And once the blood sugar level is increased, automatically the cholesterol level will be higher. Why? The glucose is not utilized properly. Definitely it is converted as a I mean cholesterol. Okay, lipoprotein. So once lipoprotein is formed, it is very difficult to I mean dilute or I mean convert from I mean um, fat into glucose, I mean energy molecule. So once the cholesterol level is higher, then everything will be problem. So if fitness level is higher, then there will be no problem for your insulin secretion. So there will be no problem in the metabolic process, and resting metabolic rate will be higher. So based on your physical frame, you have to concentrate, you have to limit your food intake, then there will be no problem. And see, once the fitness level is increased, automatically your basal metabolic rate will be higher. So there will be no extra deposition in the muscle and blood. So if BMR will be low, then automatically again there will be a problem. What it leads to obesity. See, I mean, uh, this obesity, the belly portion, it is a smooth muscle adipose tissue. The maximum volume of excess may be deposited in the belly, on the belly, below the chest and above the thigh. So this is the biggest problem in the world. It is a epidemic disease or overall the world. And what are the metabolic syndrome means? The there are many number of problems nowadays started. Once the excess glucose is deposited, it will be converted as a lipid. Lipid, it will obstruct the blood circulation. Once the blood circulation is affected, it will be called as a then the person may be hypertension, and finally leads to diabetic 2 and kidney problem. Other musculoskeletal problem actually started. And the person may be non-alcoholic fat liver maybe happen. So we have to very cautious that we should not take too much of food. And visceral obesity, it will leads to metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndrome is increasing factor of insulin resistant hypertension, high glycerides, low HDL cholesterol. These are the two area where we need to concentrate. The This is good cholesterol, this is bad cholesterol. Once the bad cholesterol is increased, automatically the good cholesterol may be reduced. Sometimes the bad cholesterol increased, no problem, but we have to concentrate on good cholesterol. So this HDL, high density lipoprotein, it carries unwanted cholesterol in the blood and bloodstream, I mean blood heart related tubes. It will take it back and make it as a usable form in the cellular activity, so that there will be no problem. So so once if it is started, we have to go for checking. What is the checking? Body mass index. Through body mass index, definitely we can check the condition. The first condition is the person who is having 18.5 below, that is underweight. 18.5 to 24.9, it is normal. Above 25, below 30 is overweight. And above 30 and below 35 is obese. Above 35, definitely it is extremely obese person. Okay, so next is body mass index of female. So same category, but here is slightly differ between male and female. And male severe obesity below 30, and female is above 30. So this is the differentiation between male and female. Some male having more striated fiber, so that the fat deposition will be very low in generally, and female having smooth muscle. So the fat deposition will be higher. So there is a difference between male and female. So myth about metabol, I mean, there is a formula here. There is a formula of Harris Benedict. This is the standard formula where you can include your values and you will get the result. So what is your BMR value? And next is metabolism, the myth about metabolism. So this is a very simple concept. Everybody trying to give you some solution. Those solution is it is not, it is against your physical value, and it is against to scientific value. So don't skip your breakfast, don't skip your sleeping. These habits, it will makes you more danger, more weakness your body. So only solution is just to go for physical exercise, particularly strength training, build more muscle, gain weight, so that the muscle mass, it will, your muscle is capable of taking so much of glucose in the blood and converting glycogen in the muscle, so that there will be no problem. The excess unwanted material, whichever in the form glucose or fat or amino acids, everything will be cleared through exercise. So the exercise is the only way you can control over your metabolic disorder. For that, we have to go for, definitely I can tell you that there is a solution for everything, but it is not in the form of medicine. Medicine meant medication. So through exercise only you can control all your illness. So with the medicine you can't do anything. Even if you are in a uh, those who are taking medication, just go for proper exercise and diet. Through exercise diet only you can manage your health illness. Okay, so how much calories you need, all those things, there is a formula, and there is a through internet you can search everything, and if you put your personal data, it will tells you how much calories you can take, or what is your boundary. So don't think that I am doing exercise and I'm taking more than 3,500 calories or 4,000 calories, or based on your frame only you have to take. If the person is not willing to reduce or increase their weight, you just go for balanced intake and output. So without making this proper or balanced condition, you can't achieve anything. Even a normal person also suffering a lot of because of irregular intake of imbalanced training and diet. So these are the food. These are the 15 food you can boost your metabolism. Grapefruit and green tea, yogurt, almonds, coffee, turkey, apples, spinach. These are the natural ingredients. It will help you to bring back your normal condition, and it will helps you to make your system to more effective metabolic process in the resting and working condition. And apart from this, definitely you just add exercise pattern. So what are the exercise pattern? It is a big area. Simply you can go for skipping, walking, jogging, cycling, swimming. Okay, through this activity and the surya namaskar and some of the basic pose of asanas. So through this you can control over your all metabolic disorder. And in addition to that, add plenty of water and go for proper sleep, and go for have cup of green tea. It will increase metabolism. And small meals often, a gradual interval you takes a small amount of food. And the spice, you just add it more protein, vegetables, muscle building exercise, high intensity interval workout, high fiber food, keep moving and changing the position wherever. Suppose if you are in a white collar job, definitely there will be a lot of problem in your desk. So you need not to stay long duration, so that you can change your position, change your direction, or you can walk for getting file from one place to another place. You just walk. So make you more free and feel happy, and give allot some recreational portion on your day to activities, so that, so with help of exercise and diet only, you can control your metabolic disorder. So with this, I thank you very much for listening this video. Thank you very much. Thank you.